Hey guys, today we are going to review solving one-step equations. Once again, this is review, so it's up to you what you write down note-wise. If you feel like you are doing awesome with solving equations and that you have mastered it and you're ready to move on, you can actually watch my next video as well. That is solving two-step equations. I figured I would give that to you. It's actually not a 6th grade standard, so I won't test you on it. But if you want to challenge yourself, it is a 7th grade standard, and it's there for you to preview and kind of work through if you are up for the challenge. So solving one-step equations. So if you remember, to figure out what the variable equals, your goal is to get that variable by itself or to isolate the variable. So we want to isolate the variable, and to isolate the variable, you must apply the inverse operation that is going on with the variable. So if I look at my variable x here, what is going on with this x? X is being added to 10. So what is the opposite of adding 10? Subtracting 10. So remember, equations are like a scale. Whatever you do to one side, you want to do to the other side of the equation. These actually cancel out. So you're left with x equals 21 minus 10, 11. So 11 would be your solution. Remember, I always had you checking it, so you want to plug it back in. So 11 plus 10 should give us 21. 11 plus 10 is 21, and last time I checked, 21 equals 21. So y minus 6 equals 12. You want to check what's going on with my variable y. Y is being subtracted by 6. So the opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6 to each side of the equation. These cancel out. You are left with y isolated. 12 plus 6. Y is 18. Plug it back in. 18 minus 6 will hopefully give us 12. 18 minus 6 is 12, and 12 equals 12. Yay! Okay, so those are addition and subtraction equations. So then multiplication and division, same thing. You always want to ask yourself what is going on with your variable. So 4m equals 12. M is our variable. So what is going on with m? Well, I know that when m is smushed with a number or coefficient, there's a nice vocabulary word. So our coefficient is 4. This represents multiplication. This right here is multiplication. So m is being multiplied by 4. What is the opposite or the inverse operation of multiplying by 4? It's going to be dividing by 4. So we're going to divide using the fraction bar on each side of our equation. 4 divided by 4 gives me 1, or just m. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So m equals 3. We're going to plug it back in. 4 times 3 will hopefully give us 12. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 equals 12. Hooray! Next one, x divided by 5 equals 4. What is going on with this variable right here? It's being divided by 5. So we want to do the opposite of dividing by 5. So we want to multiply each side by 5. Remember that this is the only operation in our work that goes on the sides. These cancel out. We have x isolated, and 4 times 5 is 20. So x equals 20. Plug it back in. 20 divided by 5 should hopefully give us 4. 20 divided by 5 is 4, and 4 equals 4. Perfect. So at this point, I would like you to try these 4 equations on your own. I am going to solve them here now, so I would pause the video and then come back and check with me when you are finished all of them. So number 1, I know that x is being added with 6. So I want to do the opposite or inverse operation of adding 6. I want to subtract 6 from each side of the equation. These cancel out. I am left with x on the right. 10 minus 6 is 4. So x equals 4. You do not have to check these, but I would do it just to make sure that you get the right answer, especially as you go forward in algebra when they're multi-step. It's not going to be as obvious. So I will check this one for you. So 10 should be 4 plus 6. 4 plus 6 is 10, and 10 equals 10. Okay, so number 2, m divided by 7 equals 4. The opposite of dividing by 7, multiply each side by 7. Cancel out, m equals 28. Number 3, what's going on with my variable m? It's being multiplied by 6, so I want to divide each side by 6. These cancel out. We have m on the right, 24 divided by 6 is 4. So m equals 4, or 4 equals m, however you want to say that one. So number 4, y minus 7 equals 10. The opposite of subtracting 7 is adding 7 to each side of the equation. These cancel out. We have y equals 17. And that is actually it for today's lesson. Pretty quick and simple. I do want to go over what you are required to do for your practice today. I actually tried to make it fun. I was going to give you a boring worksheet, but decided to give you something a little bit different. There are directions here for you to look at, but I want to kind of go over and explain it a little bit. So you're actually going to create a monster depending on your solving equation answers. So this right here is the monster body. So this right here, you either want to kind of sketch on a piece of paper, or you can put your paper right on your computer screen and trace it. I always used to do that. So if you want to do that, go ahead. And then after you have your body sketched, you're going to add things to your monster. So for number 1, this right here tells you what you're adding. So I'm actually going to add the right hand to my monster. So I want to go and I want to solve the equation x minus 6 equals 14. And depending on whatever you get as your solution for x, that's what you're going to add to your monster. So let's say that I get 8 as my solution to this equation. This arm right here is actually the kind of arm that I'm going to add. So it's a right arm. So I would try to draw like a crazy right arm on this monster, and it has lines on it, or it has fingers too, but hopefully yours looks a little bit better than mine. But so then it has like lines, and you need to give it some more fingers. But so that is kind of the gist of what you're doing. So you're going to go through all of the problems, and this one you're going to add a right foot that looks a certain way. I hope it's this foot. That is so cool. But you will find out at the end. At the end of the doc, I do have a link to the answer key. No cheating. Make sure you do it before you check, please. And if you want to send me a picture of your monster, if you color it and everything, I would love that. Give me something to look at this crazy, boring time. So have fun with it, and let me know if you have any questions.